Let's pray that the goddess of fortune, the supreme goddess of fortune, Radharani, bless us so that we can understand her glories and we can develop a drop of her immense devotion for Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, I'll talk about 5 glories of Srimati Radharani today, and within that, we'll discuss various aspects of her life as well as her particular mood of devotion. So, these 5 I will talk in terms of the acronym Radha. So, I'll talk about 5 ways in which love is seen. So Radharani demonstrates her love and we all aspire for that love. So R is what is seen right from her birth itself. Refusal. What was it? Her refusal to see anything except her Lord as her first sight with her eyes. When she appeared in the world, she appeared in Barsana. So Krishna appeared both in Mathura as well as in Vrindavan. And while Vrindavan and Barsana are not very far away, still they are not next to each other also. So Krishna, so that in that sense, who were Radharani's parents? Rishabhanu and Kirtida. So they were close to, in terms of relationship with Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, but they were not exactly next door neighbors. So, in one sense, Nanda Maharaj, we consider the Vrindavan can refer to one village, Vrindavan. Vrindavan can also refer to the larger area of Vrindavan. For example, when we do Rajamandal Parikrama. So, Nanda Maharaj was the head who was staying here, but Nanda Maharaj was also the head of the entire area of Vrindavan. And within that, there was another area named Barsana. And it was in Barsana that Radharani appeared. There, Kirtida and her father, Rishabhanu, they both had their child. So now when they had a child, it was a matter of immense joy for them. Oh, we have a child. But the heart-wrenching part for it was that this child seemed to be not opening eyes, not speaking, not functioning. So what had happened? And they had their version of doctors at that time said, we don't see anything wrong with this child at all. And we don't know what is happening. And then there was this mood of joy as well as sorrow that was there. And then they decided still, Krishna, we want that. We want to invite Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda to our home. We have a child and we want them to come and see. Now Krishna at that time was himself not very much older. Now different acharyas give slightly different understandings of the age difference between them. But the eternal age of Radharani in the spiritual world is around 14 and a half. Specifics vary. And the eternal age of Krishna is around 16 and a half. So Krishna is about 1 or 2 years, or 2 years older than Radharani. So when, now the word eternal age itself is an oxymoron. When you use the word age, that itself indicates something which is changing. So, but the idea is in the spiritual world there is time. But time is cyclic without being deteriorating. So somebody who is middle-aged in the spiritual world, they will eternally stay middle-aged. They will never grow older. So in that sense, in the Bhauma Leela, when Krishna appears over here, at that time he grows in age from a childhood to a particular age. But in the spiritual world, they are all of eternal age. So when we are talking about the pastime now, this is as it is in Bhauma Vrindavan, as Krishna appeared over here. In the spiritual world, it's all of the same age, eternally. But the point is there is some age difference. And now So when Krishna comes to the place of of Rishabhan of Kirtida, so then Krishna as a small child is restless. His mother is keeping an eye on him, but he is going here, he is going there, and they greet each other. Now they want to go, naturally they want to take the parents to go and see their newborn baby, but even before they can go, Krishna slips out of Mother Yashoda's hands. They're sitting and he starts exploring the house, just like a small child may start exploring. And he, at this point, cannot even walk very well. So sometimes he's crawling, sometimes he's walking, sometimes falling and crawling. And he crawls, but like a child looking here and there, he is not like that. He's straight, goes to the crèche where the baby Radha is there. And when he goes there, he holds the crèche and pulls himself up. And then just like a child was curious, okay, what is here? I want to see. The child peers over and looks. And as soon as Krishna's face appears in the Nayana Pathagama, in the visual pathway of Srimati Radharani, immediately her eyes open. And the first sound that comes from her is not a sound of crying, but a sound of joy. This baby has not made any sound till now. And then, when they hear it, for a mother or for parents in general, the smallest sound from a child, what is happening to my child? The ears become very alert. So everybody comes running. Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda have also heard that their child has some concerns. So they also come running. And there Radharani is beholding Krishna, and Krishna is beholding Radharani. And Radharani has such a big smile, her eyes are open, and she is like a small baby laughing cheerfully. And when Kirtada and Rishabhanu see this, their joy just knows no bounds. And their joy has multiple reasons. First, that their child is healthy. The child is healthy, child is functioning normally. That itself is a source of joy. And then on top of that, they soon realize the way Krishna is looking at Radharani, Radharani is looking at Krishna, they soon realize, oh, there's something, Krishna is our special child over here, everyone knows, and Krishna has done something special for her. That itself is a great source of joy for them. But then they say that she has something special for Krishna also. So all of it just increases the joy of the Barsanavasis at level and the Brajavasis at large. So she has all her faculties, but she chooses to manifest her faculties when she can see Krishna. In the ecstasies of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is described that sometimes he would withdraw his limbs into his body and he would appear to be almost just like a limbless torso. His arms would be inside, his legs would be inside, and it would say at such times he is manifesting the Kurma Rupa. And sometimes his limbs would extend so much that he was already tall, his hands were already long, Ajanulambiti was. But still they seem to become much, much further. So the reason described for these bodily transformations is that when Mahaprabhu would, in his own ecstasy, see Krishna somewhere, and Krishna is going away, then his limbs would elongate to try to reach out to Krishna. And when he would feel Krishna's presence, then all the limbs would withdraw, so that there is no distraction anywhere else, or that the entire attention is focused on Krishna. So, in one sense, Mahaprabhu is Krishna, but in the mood of Radharani. So that same mood, when I am beholding the Lord, I just don't want to see anything else. I want to behold only the Lord. So that Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Eke Hakuru Nandana, that is a characteristic of Srimati Radharani. Now love is seen in many ways. Now, one of the basic ways of love is seen by what we say yes to and what we say no to. Like what we give and what we give up. So, here, say if somebody is very important for us, we are talking with them, then if they are speaking something and we pay full attention to them, if they are talking and we are looking at who else is there in this place, I want to look at everyone else. That indicates itself that we're not paying much attention. We don't consider the person to be that important. So, the world offers us many pleasures. One sign of our devotion is that we consciously turn away from those pleasures. It is a conscious intention. It is a conscious choice. And Radharani demonstrates that we don't have that power that we can choose only to see Krishna. We live in a world where we have to function. Our senses have to interact with so many objects. But what we can try to do is, what do we dwell on? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna doesn't say, Drishyato Vishayan Pumsa leads to problems. It is, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsa. Our eyes may see various things. Our senses may contact with various objects. But what do we dwell on? What do we give our attention to? In general, on the path of devotion, there are many stages. The first sign of devotion is attention. From attention, gradually attraction comes. So, from attraction, eventually absorption will come. So, if there is no attention, there will be no attraction. And Krishna is all attractive, but when we give attention to him, that's when the attraction starts manifesting. Or rather, it becomes revealed to us, for us. So for us, we can see, what am I giving my attention to? How can I give my attention more to Krishna? Yes, while functioning in the world, we have to pay attention to various things that we do. But we don't have to let that enter into our heart and take a place in our heart. So, this is Radharani. We can play Jagan as in the Jagannathastakam we pray. May Krishna be on our visual pathway. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavattu me. So, Radharani, she shows her love by refusing to see anything else. Now, after that, as we move forward, then A is attraction. This is a slightly esoteric story, but it illustrates a universal principle of Krishna's all attractiveness. When Radha and Krishna are growing up, they are in two different places and they are of two different genders. Of course, spiritually, the gender is a different thing, but whatever. So they don't interact very often. They keep interacting intermittently, but not very often. And as they are growing up, especially when people come to the age of puberty, they change. Their appearance changes. So, Radharani, it is described that the Purva Bhav is or Purva Rag. That means when puberty comes, then the attraction in the Madhurya Bhav starts rising. So when that time comes, Radharani has not seen Krishna for some time. So now she also has her seva. She has her job. They are all cowherd women. So the cows, Gopas go out and take care of the cows. The gopis, they go out to sell the gifts of the cows. The Dadyadikam Moha Bishad Vishad Avaichad Dadyadikam, they say the curd, the milk, the butter, they sell these things. So once Radharani along with her Sakhis is going towards Mathura, carrying this, and then carrying butter and milk, and suddenly she hears the sound of a flute being played. And she looks around, where is the sound coming from? She can't see anywhere. And that flute song, as it enters from the ears into her heart, it conquers her heart. It describes that Krishna's flute song is like a rope. the rope that enters through the ears and pulls at the heart. It is. That's why when later the gopis hear Krishna singing the flute song or playing the flute, they just leave everything and come. Now at this point, Radharani does not know that Krishna plays the flute. So this is described in the in Chakravarti Pad's Krishna Bhavnavrat Mahakavya. So she hears this flute being played. She starts thinking, who is this captivating person? Who plays this flute so attractively? And just by hearing that flute sound, her heart is lost to that person. She wants to leave everything and run and find who that person is. But she has a responsibility. She has to reach Mathura. And there are Sakhis watching. This is still, whatever we say, a conservative society. She can't just act on her attraction. So her heart is lost. She hears the flute song and says, this person is the Lord of my life. And she goes away. So when will I get to meet him? And the next day, when she comes out, at that time, she's again going to Mathura, and this time she's eagerly waiting. Will I get to see that flute player, who it is? And then, there's no sound of the flute player this time. And this time, she smells the fragrance of Krishna's body. And so they are going in one direction, the Sakhas are going in another direction, the wind is coming downstream. So she smells the fragrance. And that fragrance is so captivating. It is. She is completely absorbed. She forgets everything else. Krishna is Sarvanga Sundar. Every aspect of his form, every aspect of his personality, every aspect of him is attractive. And not just attractive, but supremely attractive. And she takes in the fragrance. Again, she's looking, who is this person? Where is this coming from? Now, she does not know that this fragrance is coming from Krishna. She doesn't. At this time, Krishna is not playing the flute. So, Krishna is actually playing with Radharani's heart over here. So, he is. So, she starts thinking, this person is so attractive. And her heart gets captured by this person. And she starts thinking, what kind of person am I? I have lost my heart to two different men. What am I going to do? So, with Krishna, what he does is, Krishna is, as we say, he stands twisted, his work also in twisted ways. So, Krishna is playing with Radharani's heart over here. And then she's waiting, she can't see anyone. And she goes ahead again. Who is this? What is this fragrance? I've never smelled anything like this ever before. It's overwhelmingly attractive. And the beauty of the sweetness, the attractiveness of the fragrance of Krishna is something which even the great sages have described. When the Kumaras, they go to the spiritual world, to Vaikuntha, Tasya Ravinda Nayanasya Padaravinda, that they have not yet seen the Lord who has lotus eyes, who has lotus feet. But what they say is, Kinjalka Mishra Tulasi Makaranda Vayu. So the Vayu that comes along from Krishna, so from, in this case, from the Supreme Lord, that these are great sages who are not attracted by anything mundane. In the world, people put on a lot of perfume so that they can actually attract others. In fact, the sheer amount of perfumes that the perfume industry that is there, the cosmetic industry, mainly the perfume industry, the amount of money that is spent on perfumes, that money, if it is saved, it can feed all the hungry people in the world. The cosmetic industry is huge in its expense. So, now, this is not a criticism of cosmetics. It is just that the body is so unattractive that sometimes we have to conceal its unattractiveness. So, it's not that... so anyway, the point is that at a material level also, what is spiritually manifested in a pure and powerful way, that is manifested here in this world also to some degree. So Akshara Jusham Apichitta Tanvo. The Kumaras are those who will not be attracted to anything mundane. And yet their mind gets agitated irresistibly. So this is the power of Krishna's attractiveness. Even his fragrance attracts. So the next day Radharani is going, and Krishna has not yet had enough of playing with her heart. This time she is going, and she sees Krishna going from the other side. Now when she sees Krishna going, this time Krishna is deliberately not playing the flute. And everything in Vrindavan works according to Krishna's will. So Krishna arranges that this time the wind is flowing downward. So it is Radharani's fragrance that goes to Krishna, but Krishna's fragrance does not come to Radharani. And when Radharani sees Krishna, so, oh, this is Krishna. I have not seen him for such a long time. He's changed. He's so attractive now. And she knows this is Krishna. And just the sight of Krishna, it captivates her heart. And she just trying to pull herself and move forward. She's thinking her heart there is a double storm, now there's a triple storm in her heart. She thinks there are 3 people I'm attracted to. Because she doesn't know that the person who plays the flute, the person who has that fragrance, and this attractive Krishna, they are the same person. So that night when she goes back, her heart is in utter turbulence. She can't sleep. What am I going to do? How am I going to live? And then Krishna, he is, after all, God. He sees the turbulence of her heart. He sees her angst, and he decides to relieve her of angst. And then, the next day, look, as Radharani is going along, Krishna is on this side, and Krishna starts playing his flute. Radha comes, oh, who is this flute player? I'll get to see him today. Maybe I will. And then, the wind starts flowing. And Radharani starts saying that, okay, the fragrance is also coming from the same area. She still doesn't put it together. She starts thinking, are these 2 people? And are 2 of them friends? Okay, will I see both of them today? And then she comes forward and she sees Krishna. When she sees Krishna, deliberately to have fun, Krishna stops playing his flute. And here's Krishna, and he's, okay, the third person, this Krishna is also here. And then, this time their path is going closer and closer to Krishna. So then, Krishna picks up his flute and starts playing it. And then Radharani sees that, and she just keeps seeing, hey, so the flute player is Krishna. So, okay, she says, one problem gone. And then, she keeps coming closer and closer, and then the wind starts flowing in such a way that the fragrance starts coming. And when the fragrance starts coming, she starts saying, oh, this fragrance is coming from Krishna. For her, the agony of the heart, the confusion, the mortification, all just disappears. So Krishna is Rasaraj. Rasaraj means he churns the emotions in the hearts of his devotees. So he lets all this anxiety come in the heart of Radharani so that her relief and her joy is that much more eventually when she realizes that everything that she is attracted to is actually present in Krishna. So that realization is what the great saints get after many lifetimes. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Krishna is everything. Whatever it is that we are attracted to in this world, that is present in its originality and in its fullness in Krishna. For many people, it takes Bahunam Janmanam Ante. It takes many, many lifetimes to come to this realization. But for Radharani, it happens within a few days. So we are all attracted to various things in this world. And just as Radharani got that realization, we can pray that Krishna, whatever is I'm attracted to, I may be attracted to this sports player, I may be attracted to this politician, I may be attracted to this hero, heroine, whatever it is. They all are manifesting some vibhuti of Krishna. And all this vibhuti, all this attractiveness ultimately comes from Krishna. So we may intellectually understand it, but to get that realization, that is so important. Ultimately, Krishna is all attractive. So if we consider an ocean, from that ocean, say we are here, and from that ocean, some drops of water have come. So now various drops of water have come from the ocean. So all the drops have come from the ocean, but all the drops don't take us toward the ocean. So like that, anything attractive that anyone has, that comes from Krishna. Maybe there's a Bollywood singer who sings very nicely. Their singing ability comes from Krishna. But if they are singing mundane songs, this drop of water has also come from the ocean. But if we chase this drop of water, we go away from the ocean. On the other hand, this drop of water has come from the ocean, but if we follow this water, we will go closer to the ocean. So like that, a devotee sings very nicely. That devotee singing ability also comes from Krishna. So among the various things that are attractive in this world, we need to select what we get attracted to. See, everything attractive comes from Krishna, but everything attractive doesn't take us to Krishna. So we need to select for us how the path of everything that we are attracted to ultimately culminates in Krishna. So that is, for Radharani, that realization is there, and we can pray that we also can get that realization. Right now, our situation is Bahushakha Yanandasya. We are attracted to this, we are attracted to that, we are attracted to that. And in that way, our consciousness is pulled in various directions. Aneka chitta vibhranta mohjala samavrata. But by the Lord's mercy, by Radharani's mercy, vyavasayatmika buddhi, eke, we can see that all the things that I'm attracted to, that attractiveness is actually coming from Krishna. Then, what is the next one? D. D is dedication. So, it is often said that opportunity knocks only once. Well, opportunity knocks once, temptation knocks repeatedly. Temptation keeps knocking and knocking and knocking till the door opens, till we open the door. But when the opportunity to come closer to Krishna opens for us, how do we tap that opportunity? If we show dedication in tapping that opportunity, Krishna will reveal himself more to us. Krishna will give us more opportunity. So as Radharani is growing up, Kirtida, her mother, teaches her cooking, and she picks it up very fast. And she's a brilliant cook. And then once again, Kirtida and Rishabhanu, they invite Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda to their house for food. Initially, Krishna says, I am not going. Krishna is like a boy, I want to play, I don't want to go for food in anyone's house. Krishna says, no, you can come. He says, I have all my friends, I want to play with them. Mother says, no, they have invited, they will feel bad if you don't come. He says, okay, if I'm going to come, then I want all my friends also to come with me. He said, you have so many friends, they have not invited all of them. He said, no, I want my friends to come. He says, okay. Then he says, okay, one friend you can bring. So then Krishna gets Madhumangal along with him. So, Madhumangal is like the comedian in Krishna Lila. So when they go along, they are invited they welcome by Nanda Maharaj, and then Nanda Maharaj, they welcome by Rishabhanu, so Nanda Maharaj goes with Rishabhanu, and the boys go with him, and then Kirtida takes Yashoda Mai inside. And now when they go to the kitchen, they see there are hundreds of items being cooked for their feast. And he says, oh, you cooked so much. And so then Kirtida says, no, these are the ordinary items. The special items are elsewhere. Really? So like rice, dal, sabji, all these ordinary items, they have been cooked here. They say that all the special delicacies, she takes her to another room, and there Radharani is personally cooking those items. And when Yashoda sees, she says, hey Radha. For us, we call her Radha Rani. For her, Yashoda, she's Radha. Hey Radha, what are you doing? Your body is tender like a flower, handling all these stoves. You're sweating. You're getting shriveled. You shouldn't be doing this. So, why she turns to Kirtida and says, why did you make her do this? She's so tender. And Kirtida says, I didn't tell her to do it. I told her we have cooks, we will cook. She insisted on cooking. She said she wants to cook for all of you. Now, when they say all of you, they all know for who is the you that is being there over there. So, Yashoda is very pleased with this. And she looks at the delicacy. She herself is a great cook, and it takes one to know another. Yes, you are a wonderful cook. She says, Krishna will be so pleased to eat this. And as soon as she mentions the word Krishna, Radharani becomes very shy. And then, the purpose of all of Vrindavan in one sense is to get Radha and Krishna together. So then, Yashoda says that, okay, now you have learned cooking from Kirtida, I will teach you how to serve. So Radha says, my mother has already taught me how to serve. She doesn't say that, but Yashoda's mood is that she should go and serve Krishna. So, okay, you go and serve in this line. So what Radharani does is, she serves halfway and she serves more, but all the food gets over. And she comes back. And she tells her Sakhi, you go and serve now. She's afraid to go, she's a little shy to go in front of Krishna. So there Yashoda says, oh, you should go and serve there. So Radharani is reluctant, but then she goes. And then she goes and starts serving. And she serves Krishna. And then she's put the food item in Krishna's plate. And she's put the food item in Madhumangal's place. There's a separate drone which she mixes. She has made a sweet and put. And then she moves forward and comes back and she's watching. And then Krishna sees Radharani is watching. And then Krishna takes the food, eats it. He makes a twisted face. He makes a twisted face and he pushes the plate, throw it away. And Radharani's heart stops beating. What happened? He says, did I not cook properly? And then Madhumangal picks it up and eats it. His face is smiling. And then Krishna grins at Radharani. So Radharani gets angry. So Krishna is the ultimate Rasraj. So he just keeps having emotions. He keeps kindling emotions in Radharani's heart. So serving Krishna is always exciting. And then as Madhumangal is eating, so Radharani comes and serves again. And as she's serving, Madhumangal speaks in her presence. And he says, oh, eating this food has put me in unprecedented anxiety now. Now, if we are hosting someone and they say, eating this food has put me in anxiety, that will put us in anxiety. What happened? So he said that, he says, this food is so tasty. I am worried, how will I be satisfied with any other food in the future? So the sweetest praise comes in the form of indirect praise, like criticism. So then, now Yashoda is also watching. And Yashoda says, see that with how much gusto Krishna is eating what Radharani has cooked. In her heart, she wants to be the one who is pleasing Krishna by cooking. But she sees, Krishna never eats the food that I cook with as much relish, as much gusto, joy as he's eating what Radha has cooked. And then the whole meal gets over. And then they wash their hands and go away. Then Radharani goes to meet Yashoda goes to meet Radharani and Kirtida. And the food was wonderful. I saw Krishna eating with so much joy. And she says to Kirtida that Krishna got so much joy in eating. So I want that Radha should come and cook for Krishna regularly. Now this is not an easy request, both from Radharani's side, from Yashoda's side, from Kirtida's side. From Yashoda's side, she wants to be the one to be pleasing Krishna. For one of a small newborn child, the mother is the most important person. Mother takes care of the child. As the child grows up, the father also gradually becomes important. But the mother is the most important woman. But as the child grows up, then there's another woman that comes in his life. At that time, the mother has to step back. If the mother doesn't step back, then the relationships don't function properly. So Yashoda voluntarily steps back. She could have been cooking for Krishna, but she says, Radha should come and cook. Her concern is not that I be doing the service. Her concern is that Krishna be pleased. So that shows her selflessness. Now for Kirtida says, to Yashoda, you are our queen, and whatever you tell us, we will do. But Krishna is a young boy, Radha is a young girl. How can she come to your house and cook like this? So Yashoda says, I have thought about this. She doesn't have to come to our house. She can come outside our house. There is a beautiful sarovar. Which is the sarovar? Pavan sarovar. And there we will make an arrangement for cooking. She can come and cook over there. And from there, our servant Dhanishta and others will take the food and they will serve it to Krishna. Now Radha is hearing this. This is, as I said, this is a conservative society. So elders are speaking, Radha doesn't speak anything. Initially she's excited, oh, I'll get to cook for Krishna. But she's worried, how will I cook, what will happen, and how will I go? When Kirtida expresses a reservation, she thinks, oh, will I lose the opportunity, will I not get the opportunity to cook? So when she hears what Yashoda is saying, and Kirtida says, yes, that is good, we will do that. And from that day, Radharani gets to cook every day for Krishna. And she's so expert. See, in the spiritual world, there are Kalpataru is there. There are desire fulfilling things. Radha can say just to Kalpataru, you cook this, give me these 50 items and I'll offer them to Krishna. So, but she herself cooks for Krishna. Why? Because love has no meaning without expression. And expression is best when there is some effort. The end result is not important. The end result is of course important. But in love, it is both the end result and the effort to get to the result. Both are important. Say if some guest comes to our house and we get some delicious sweets for them. Oh, these are so tasty. That's wonderful. Say, oh, I just bought it from the neighborhood shop. Okay. So it's good that you brought something good. The end result is important. But we personally cooked them for you. The effort is also important. So Radharani doesn't just want to offer the best to Krishna. She wants to be the one who prepares and offers the best to Krishna. So she herself cooks every day. She's running around on multiple stoves, stirring this, heating this, moving this, and making sure that every item is cooked to perfection. So when she gets one opportunity for service, she grabs that opportunity. And thus, she is given more opportunities. So for all of us, that is an important lesson. That when we may all feel that, I would like to do this service, I would like to do this, I would like to do that. But we may feel, why am I not getting this opportunity? Why am I not getting that? But whatever opportunity we have, if we grab that opportunity, then what happens is Krishna will give us a bigger opportunity. We all have our roles in service to Krishna. And sometimes what we want is a bigger role. We think, if I get a bigger role, I could do so much service. But instead of a bigger role, we may get the bigger role. But what we can do right now is play our role better. Whatever we are doing, if we have a small service, do it as well as we can. Radharani did not have the opportunity to cook everything for Krishna. She's told to cook some delicacies, whatever initially. So when she had the opportunity to cook the delicacies, she cooked that well. She didn't demand, let me cook everything for Krishna. A small service, do that small service well. Many times when we have a small service, we think this is unimportant. How I do it doesn't matter. If I get a big service, then I'll do it well. Only 5 people are coming for this class. Even if I don't prepare for the class, who is going to know about it? Now, if I give a class in the temple or senior devotees will be present, at that time I should prepare the class nicely. Okay, we are ultimately speaking to please Krishna. So whether it is speaking to one person or 1,000 people, it is Krishna who is always hearing. And if we are trying to organize our thoughts and share them in the best possible way, it is Krishna who will notice, it is Krishna who will reward. So there is always the craving, I should get a bigger service. Now, even if we have a small service, let us focus on doing it better rather than craving for a bigger service. So that is dedication. Dedication means not just constantly craving for a bigger service, but doing our present service better. Then last is, second last is, what is the last word? The next word of the H. So H is humility. So here, humility has many different aspects. But at a basic level, humility is seen through concern for others. Now we say, often what happens is we make humility very self-centered. What do I mean by self-centered? Humility means that, oh, I am so fallen, I am so fallen, I am so fallen. Well, I've heard that soundtrack. No, is there anything else to come? The world is not concerned whether we are fallen or elevated. So humility is not, as they say, humility is essentially out of self-obsession. So if we consider this self-centeredness or self-obsession, people who are self-centered, one way can be, I am so great. That is one form of self-centeredness. Another is, I am so small. Both are self-centeredness. So humility means this whole coin of being self-centered. That I am so great, I am so small. Just throw aside that coin. I am what I am, but I want to be of service. I want to do what I can for Krishna's service. So sometimes when ego is there too much, we don't do a service unless we are going to get respect for the service. But if there is too much insecurity, inferiority, then also, I want to do service because I'm good for nothing. No, we need to do what we can. So basically just throw away this coin of self-centeredness. So humility is often seen through concern for others. So how is this seen? This is where one of the most dramatic and traumatic incidents in Krishna Lila comes up. We all know that Krishna plays the flute and calls the gopis. They all come. And then there is a sweet conversation between them. Krishna says, have you come to look at the beauty of the forest? Now you can see the beauty and go back. The gopis are shy. They are not speaking, but they are moving their toes on the ground, scratching. They say, Krishna, you know why we have come. You don't make me tell us why you have come. You have called us. That's why we have come. So then Krishna understands. Krishna smiles. Krishna. Then they start performing the Ras Leela. And then the Rasa dance. And then when they are performing the Rasa dance, suddenly Krishna disappears from among them. And then they see that Krishna has disappeared. And they see that one gopi has also disappeared. They start searching everywhere. And when they start searching, they see Krishna's footsteps. Dharani Mandanam. Krishna's footprint are the ornament of the earth. So they see, and they see with Krishna's footprint, there is one more set of footprints. Say, who is this gopi? That Krishna has gone alone with her. So who is that gopi? Radharani. Now, in the Anandavan Champu, at one external level, Krishna Lila can be understood at many different levels. So at one external level, it is thought that the gopis become proud. And that's why Krishna abandons them. Well, that's one way of looking at it. Kavi Karnapur describes that actually the gopis are all delighted to be with Krishna. But they are thinking that this is a celebrated Leela. Krishna is performing with us, but Krishna is with all of us. And Krishna loves Radharani the most. Radharani loves Krishna the most. So their speciality needs to be, they need special time with each other. Their speciality needs to be known to the world. So the gopis start acting as if they are proud. And because they start acting as if they are proud, at that time, Krishna leaves them and goes away. But they are not acting as proud. The gopis, what it seems like pride, But it is not pride, it is concern for Radharani. They know that Krishna has a special bond with Radharani, Radharani has a special bond with Krishna. So they want that they should have a special time together. So they act as if they have become proud. And then when Krishna starts taking Radharani away, then Radharani is delighted. Oh, Krishna is with me alone. And for a few moments she delights in that speciality of Krishna's attention and love for her. But then, immediately, her heart starts becoming filled with concern for her Sakhis. She starts thinking, what about all of them? They must be devastated that Krishna has abandoned them and gone away. Now Krishna is leading Radharani alone into the forest, deep inward, and Radharani's heart is torn. On one side she is eager to be with Krishna, on another side she is thinking, what is going to happen to my Sakhis? They are also my friends. I love them. They love me. They love Krishna. What will they think that Krishna has abandoned them and gone away? How will they bear it? So she starts slowing down. She starts making various reasons to slow down. As they are going together, Radharani says to Krishna, Krishna, that flower, that's so beautiful. Can you get it for me? And then Krishna moves forward and gets the flower and he puts it on Radharani's hair. And then Krishna says, can you get that flower? Radharani, Krishna gets that also. He's pantering. Now, deliberately Radharani says, can you get that flower? And that flower is high up on a tree. And now Krishna has to make further efforts. So why is Radharani doing this? So that they will be slowed down. She knows all the Sakhis will be searching for them and she wants them to catch up with them. So she gets Krishna to slow down. And Krishna jumps up and he has to jump 2-3 times and finally reaches that flower. And he gives it to Radharani. Radharani's head is all decorated with flowers. And then now Radharani thought it will take more time for Krishna to get it. But Krishna is so eager to be with Radharani, he just gets everything that she asks very quickly. And then now Radharani says, Krishna, that flower, you have seen how beautiful it is. I have not seen any flower like this. Can you please get that for me? Now Krishna looks at it, it's way up. Krishna tries to jump up and he can't reach it. He tries to jump up again. Radharani is watching, she's amused. Krishna is not able to reach. And then suddenly, she's just watching and Krishna turns towards her and Krishna sees that Radharani is smiling. He says, oh, Krishna, there's a grin comes onto Krishna's face. And Krishna moves backwards. Radharani is watching, where is Krishna going? And suddenly Krishna comes from behind and picks Radharani up. And he says, okay, picks her high up. He says, you reach that flower. Radharani is scared. What happened? She suddenly picked it up. And later on, when the gopis come and search, so what happens is that they see at one particular place, the footsteps have gone very deep inside. So Radharani is concerned that if some wind comes, some rain comes, the footsteps may not be seen. So when Krishna lifts Radharani up, at that time the footprints go deep inside. And there, the gopis are able to see the footprints when they come. So Radharani reaches and then she gets the flower. And now Krishna puts that flower on her hair. Now Radharani says, what more can I do to delay Krishna now? Krishna is just, everything that I'm asking, he is giving. So then Radharani says to Krishna, Krishna, I'm very tired now. We've been dancing, we've been walking so fast. Now she wants to say that maybe let's sit down over here. But Krishna says, nakre bahut ho gaye bhi. So enough is enough. So Krishna gets angry. Krishna says, because this is a forest, I cannot get a palanquin for you now. So you climb on my back and I'll carry you. Now Radharani is actually looking around to see where they can sit. Which is a nice, and every place in Vrindavan is nice, but she wants to see which is the best place. So she's actually not looking at Krishna, and suddenly Krishna's tone changes and she becomes concerned. Sometimes we speak some words, but what we speak is not as important as how we speak it. If a wife says to her husband, you don't love me, I love you! Now, the tone completely defeats the purpose, isn't it? What words are spoken, they just have no meaning because of the tone. So what happens? Krishna's tone is so strong. Krishna is saying, "You sit on my back," but he seems so angry. Rather, he whirls around. What has happened? Why is Krishna so upset? And she looks around, and Krishna has disappeared. And she then realizes, oh, Krishna got angry with me. She was so concerned about the Sakhis, and she was so concerned about slowing things down, and she was so concerned about finding some reasons to slow things down, that she doesn't realize that Krishna has got upset with her. And then Krishna disappears. And she says, did Krishna think that I got angry? That's a Krishna went. She calling out to Krishna, Krishna, please, where are you? She doesn't hear anything from Krishna. And then she just can't bear that pain at all. And because she can't bear that pain, that agony that Krishna has gone away, that I have angered Krishna by my behavior. And I didn't want to anger Krishna. Krishna has misunderstood me. And I have no opportunity to explain this to him. So she just can't bear it all. And she just faints. She swoons and falls on the ground unconscious. At that time, Vrinda Devi, she arranges the grass to be like a cushion to catch her, to soften her fall. And later on when the gopis come, the gopis are searching for, where is Krishna? Where is the Sakhi with Krishna? And then, initially there is some annoyance. Why has Krishna chosen this special Sakhi and gone with her? But when they see the Sakhi fallen on the ground, completely devastated, although she's unconscious, her face is as if frozen in time. And on her face, still that utter horror and shock and dismay and agony, all of it is there. And when they see that on her face, they understand how much she must be loving Krishna. So even the other group of Sakhis, Chandravali are there, and there is a little rivalry between Chandravali and Radharani, the groups. Even that group of Sakhis, their heart softens. If Krishna has gone with her, it is not because Krishna is partial. She really loves her so much. They all they rush, get some water from Jamuna, sprinkle it on her face, and they bring her back to consciousness. So this whole pastime goes on further. Then they come back and then they sing the Gopi Geet, and finally Krishna appears. But even when Radharani is with Krishna, her concern is not that I want to enjoy Krishna for myself. Her humility is seen in her concern for others. So, I was at one place, and there the temple president was telling me an incident. He said that there is a visiting sannyasi guru who had come, and he was quite close to that sannyasi guru. So he was supposed to give a Bhagavatam class, and there were some several hundred people who had come for the Bhagavatam class. And that sannyasi guru said to the president, I want to talk with you. And they started talking and kept talking and kept talking. The class timing, 15 minutes are gone, 20 minutes are gone, 30 minutes are gone. Now on one side, he was thinking, I'm delighted to have my spiritual master's association, but I'm also concerned the whole congregation is waiting over here. They also need the association. So I was torn. So he was telling me, he was there when I spoke this class. He said, I could identify with Radharani's plight over there. That Radharani is with Krishna. She's delighted to be with Krishna, but she's also concerned that what about others also? So I told him, that's a sign of your responsibility also, your humility, your service attitude. You could crowd to others, I am so special for my spiritual master. Instead of giving a class to thousands of people, my spiritual master wants to spend time with me. I am so important for my spiritual master. But that is not the mood of a devotee. A devotee's mood is that, yes, I want Krishna, but I want everyone else also to have Krishna. So that was Radharani's mood. That is, I don't want to delight in my specialness. I want everyone to relish Krishna's specialness. That is actually humility. Even in bhakti, if we are delighting, I want to be special. And I want to delight in my specialness. That won't be humility. I want everyone to realize how Krishna is special. I want everyone to relish Krishna's, how Krishna is special. So that is the humility of Srimati Radharani. And the last part is, A is agony. So now, you may say agony. Agony is what? It's great pain. See, pain can be physical. Agony is primarily emotional pain. So when something terrible has happened, something unbearable has happened, that's the time the agony is experienced. So now, what is the agony? This is the plight of Srimati Radharani when Krishna departs. And when Krishna departs from this world, not from this world, from the world of Vrindavan, he said, I'll come back soon. But he just does that soon. It's a very vague term. Vague. Soon means 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years. What is soon? So the gopis are waiting and waiting and waiting, and Krishna just doesn't come. So their eager anticipation is there, but from that anticipation, the situation keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And it is in this that ultimately the gopis' love for Krishna shines forth the most. And among them is Radharani's love. Radharani loves Krishna like no one else. And that's why when Uddhava sends Krishna sends Uddhava to come to Vrindavan, he gives a message. And when he gives a message, at that time, what happens is that all the Sakhis are coming and they are hearing Krishna, but there's one Sakhi who just stays far away. He doesn't want to hear. Who is that? That is Radharani. And she is talking with a bumblebee. Now, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a word that is we use, Divyonmad or Premonmad. So, Unmad is madness. Divya is divine madness. Or Premonmad is the madness of love. Even Bhishma Pitama, right in the first canto, when he's about to die, he remembers the gopis and says, Unmadandhaha. Unmad, madness, andhaha. They become blind by that. So, while all the gopis are eager to see Krishna, among all of them, this Radharani is the greatest agony. And one part of her wants to know about Krishna, wants to know how Krishna is, wants to know when Krishna is going to come back. But another part of her wants, I don't want to let Krishna get away so easily. Krishna has upset me. I want him to pay a price. I want him to know that I am displeased. So there is, in Krishna Lila, there is Radharani and there is Chandravali. Now Chandravali is from the other paksha. So what that means is that the both of them are immensely devoted to Krishna. But it is described that the way it is that Chandravali chases Krishna and Krishna chases Radharani, and Radharani goes her own way. Servant of an unreliable master. Now, what is she referring to? She is thinking that this bumblebee is actually, see, in poetic language, there are many different things that come up. So this bumblebee is actually the messenger of Krishna. And she's using the bumblebee also to address Uddhava. So she is... so she... Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. It's interesting, when the power comes off, the power goes off. Okay. Hare Krishna, okay. So, anger also. And that anger is also a sign of love. Just like we know, Narasimha Dev's anger is a sign of his love. Now, of course, that anger is God's anger directed towards the demon. But here, it is actually a devotee's anger directed toward the Lord. How could you go away like this? How could you stay away like this? How could you not come back at all? So, that is an expression of the depth of her love. So, her agony is there. Very deep emotion is there of agony. And when she gets an opportunity to express, when Uddhava comes, she's angry over there. But that agony as well as the anger, both of them are emotions within the emotion of love. Rupa Goswami talks about bhakti is a sindhu. It is not just an Anand Sindhu. It is actually a sindhu. It is an ocean of duality. In this world, nectar is sweet, poison is generally bitter. Now, this is the material domain. Now, in the spiritual domain, we can say at one level, there is only nectar. It's all spiritual. Well, that's one level understanding. But actually, in the spiritual level also, there is nectar and there is poison. So, the nectar is union with Krishna. The poison is separation from Krishna. So, there is union, there is separation. And nectar is delicious, it is wonderful. And the poison, separation from Krishna, is like agony. However, it is at another level, all of it is nectar. Because the nectar is remembrance of Krishna. It is absorption in Krishna. So, in the point is that in the spiritual world, as I said, there is duality and there is reality beyond duality. So, there is, just like in the material world, there's day and night, like that there's day and night in the spiritual world. But there's no deterioration of a person's body because there's no aging process that happens. So, the dualities of this world are present in the spiritual world, but there is a higher reality which makes the dualities function in a different way. So, the duality is there is poison and there is nectar. But the reality is it's all centered on the remembrance of Krishna. So, it is ultimately like nectar. So, we could say in that sense separation from Krishna and union with Krishna. Separation from Krishna is like sweet nectar. Union with Krishna is like sweet nectar. Separation from Krishna is like bitter nectar. Now, we may say, how can nectar be bitter? But Chaitanya Charitamrita used the example of hot sugarcane juice. It is so delicious that we can't stop drinking it. It's so hot that we can't drink it. So, that is the plight of a devotee. And Radharani manifests that plight to the highest degree. And it is in her agony and her anger. It is seeing that Krishna is thunderstruck. He says, what is her love for me? I haven't seen this kind of love. I want to understand this. Sometimes when we see a devotee has so much devotion, like we are singing kirtan and we're looking here and there, the devotee is closing eyes and looking completely absorbed. We say, what are you tasting? What are you experiencing? I also want to experience that. So Radharani, her love for Krishna is so much that Krishna is mystified, Krishna is intrigued. And it is Krishna who wants to explore the mysteries of that love. That is how he comes as Radharani. So that is especially the mood of agony in separation from Krishna. Ai Deena Dayadranatha hai, Mathura Natha Kadavaloke se, Hridayam Tadaloka Kataram, Daita Brahmyati Kim Karomyaham. That mood, you, O Krishna, who are Vrindavan, have now left Vrindavan, have become Mathura Nath. Now, I don't know what to do now that you've gone away. Kadavaloke se, when will I get to see you again? The fear that I'll never get to see you. Hridayam tadaloka kataram. My heart is trembling with fear that you may never return. Daita brahmeti kim karomyam. What should I do? Should I wait for you to come? Should I just give up my life in hopelessness? I just don't know what to do, Krishna. That is the agony of Radharani. And that agony is considered to be the highest emotion. It is almost, why is it considered the highest emotion? I'll conclude with this, that generally when we talk about Krishna consciousness, see here, we all have consciousness, it's there. Krishna is not there in our consciousness right now, isn't it? So for Krishna consciousness, Krishna needs to be there and consciousness needs to be there. So consciousness is always there, but consciousness is not open to Krishna right now. So what we want to do is, we want to bring Krishna into our consciousness. And it is that the more we bring Krishna into our consciousness, the more we chant Krishna's name, the more we behold his deities, the more we hear about him, the more we can be Krishna conscious. Now we say, remember Krishna. Krishna को याद करो. पर याद करने के लिए यादें चाहिए. Isn't it? So for remembrance of Krishna, we need memories of Krishna. So for all of us, we need to form memories of Krishna. So when we come for festivals like this, we behold the beautiful darshan, we dance in kirtans, we hear katha. It is not just specific facts about Krishna we want to remember. It's like we want to form memories of Krishna. And as those memories of Krishna become more and more, then the Krishna consciousness will become more and more. Then Krishna consciousness will become constant for us. So, actually speaking, you could say there are four things. There is the consciousness of Krishna, and there is there's consciousness of Krishna, and there is manifestation of Krishna. So, in the material world, there is no manifestation and no consciousness. This is utter darkness. We don't see Krishna over here, and our consciousness is also not directed toward Krishna. So there is consciousness of Krishna, but no manifestation of Krishna. This is the sadhaka stage. So from here, we like to come here. Although Krishna is not there, not manifested here, but still I want to be conscious of Krishna. From the sadhaka stage, this is the stage in the spiritual world, where we have consciousness of Krishna. That means in our consciousness there are memories of Krishna, there is a desire for Krishna, and Krishna is also manifested. Now, this is love in separation, where there is consciousness of Krishna even when there is no manifestation of Krishna. Sorry, I went wrong over here. There is manifestation of Krishna, no consciousness of Krishna. No, sorry, it's like we go. So, in one sense, from here, so in the spiritual world, the sadhaka stage is where there is consciousness of Krishna, but there is no manifestation of Krishna. From there, we have manifestation of Krishna and consciousness of Krishna. But in the siddha stage, what happens is that even when there is no manifestation of Krishna, still there is consciousness of Krishna. Here for us, this comes through cultivation. It requires cultivation for us. And it is not easy for us. It is very easy to lose out. But for at the highest stage, whether Krishna is manifested or Krishna is not manifested, it just doesn't matter for a devotee. In fact, through it all, the gopis, whether Krishna is manifested, Krishna is not manifested, they are conscious of Krishna. So, the idea here is that, in Radharani has a prayer in one of her prayers is that, she says, Krishna, when you are present, I can see you at one place. When you are absent, I can see you everywhere. So, Krishna is so filling her consciousness. So for us, while Radharani, sometimes Krishna is unmanifest to her, that is not because she doesn't desire Krishna. She desires Krishna, but Krishna is not there. For us, Krishna is not there because we don't desire Krishna so much. But the important thing is she never loses her longing for Krishna. She never gives up on Krishna. She never thinks, Krishna, you're not going to come back, why should I care for you? That unflinching devotion, even when there is no reciprocation, is what conquers her heart. For Radharani, there is no knowledge when Krishna is going to come back. For all of us also, there is no knowledge when Krishna is going to reveal himself to us. But we need to continue on. That faithful persistence, that is what is the greatest gift that we can pray from Radharani. That even if there is no reciprocation, Krishna will reciprocate. We know the pastime of Srivas Thakur. But Mahaprabhu said, after 1 million lifetimes, you'll get to see me. Mahaprabhu says, only 1 million lifetimes, wonderful. So that is the faithful persistence. Krishna will reciprocate. But that persistence, if we get, then whatever difficulties we may face in our life, by Radharani's mercy, we can overcome them. I'll summarize what we discussed today. We discussed about the glories of Radharani from 5 different perspectives. Right, starting from her life itself. What are the first? R was her refusal to see anything other than Krishna. To let her first sight be Krishna alone. So for all of us, we don't have that choice. We can't choose what we see, but we can choose what we focus on. What we do drishyato, we can choose that. And in that way, we try to open our senses and open our heart for Krishna, that Krishna can enter into our heart. A refusal to see anything other than Krishna. The second was her attraction. So how she was attracted first to Krishna's flute, then to his fragrance, and then to his form. And she initially thought that each of these is different. And then she realized it's all one. So for all of us also, we are attracted to various things in this world. So everything attractive, it ultimately comes from Krishna. So we can pray for that realization. That we all can keep moving closer to Krishna, even while this world. D is a dedication. She got one opportunity to serve, and she grabbed that opportunity. And thus, she got a daily service to cook for Krishna. So similarly for us, we all have various roles in service. We often seek a bigger role. Oh, then I will do wonderful service. But instead, we can try to play our role better. Show Krishna that we value the service independent of the size. And then we will be able to express our dedication. H was humility. That even when she was with Krishna, her concern for her Sakhis was there. And that's why she acted as if she was proud, although she was actually not proud. So for us, we don't want, our devotion is not that, oh, I am so special. Even spiritually, I am so special. It is rather, Krishna is so special, and I want everyone to relish how Krishna is special. Everyone should know that. So, the last part was that about her agony. So, her agony is seen in her, and Krishna abandoned, Krishna left them. That was a great pain for her at an emotional level. But that did not lead to the relationship ever breaking. That never happened. Why? Because her love was unconditional. The love was big enough from her side to include the agony and even anger for Krishna. That's why when Krishna sent Uddhava, she was angry. So she waited as long as it took for Krishna to come. So for us, we also seek from Radharani that faithful persistence through whatever life may send our way. We want to continue serving Krishna. And then one day Krishna will manifest his presence. So let us pray to Radharani. May she bless her, bless us all with devotion that helps us to stay connected with Krishna through this troubling world and ultimately to be united with him by her mercy. Srimati Radharani ki, Shri Radhashtami Mahamahotsav ki, Jai Gaur Premanande.
Krishna, we would like to thank His Grace Chaitanya Prabhu for a wonderful presentation on Radha and by chanting once the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So the festival continues in the evening. शाम को उत्सव जारी रहेगा. हम शाम को 6 बजे शुरू करेंगे अभिषेक के साथ. अभी गुरु पूजा होगा. गुरु पूजा आज हमने नहीं कर पाए, हम तब गुरु पूजा करेंगे. और गोपी गीत कल सुबह एक आखिरी सेशन कल सुबह होगा. हरे कृष्ण.